Hello everyone, CrystalFissure here, and welcome to a new Spyro Reignited Trilogy video. Today, we are looking at a new piece of, I believe, cover art that was released in a few places. I believe it was originally leaked somewhere, and then the Spyro Twitter account decided to post it, and it is in glorious HD. Like, it is a massive image, which is excellent because that means we can zoom in and analyze every little facet of this thing. This appears to be I guess they're saying cover art, but the whole thing, much like that Insane Trilogy cover art stuff that came out, it will not encompass the entire, the game case is not horizontal. But I guess they will try and sort of keep a lot of them in, presumably like all of the bosses, all of the main villains. Firstly, we're looking here at our old mate Gnasty Gnorc, and honestly, love the armor, love everything about the art style here. Very menacing, very it looks dangerous, and it's kind of got that medieval European sort of style, which, I mean, that's what the Artisans kind of, represent in many ways. The Artisans represent actually kind of a lot if you really look at it. Like, it's not like they're just European or whatever. There's like all sorts of different things, and Artisans, that term itself is actually sort of could be referring to, like this whole art gallery thing that sort of popped up, which may be in Toasty, I believe. So panning across here, this is our first look at Ripto. Another old mate, another old foe. Mixed response to Ripto so far. I think that, again though, in-game it will look different. I think that he'll actually look quite good in-game. I think all the cloak moving around and stuff like that, I think that's going to be a really underrated part of the way he looks, like the cloak and animation. You can have really nice pictures and stuff, but you want it to be, it's always going to be, a little bit more different when it's in-game. But I mean, just generally, this whole picture as a whole, which I'll go back to like the full shot later, is just glorious. I think that this is glorious. I love his scepter. I would say like Spectre, like I'm thinking about Ape Escape, but I'm not the Spyro's eye in the corner there. He's menacing. He's angry. He's ready to get Ripto. Ripto is in Skelos Badlands. Now, panning all the way up here, kind of hidden away, is the Sorceress. Our first look at the Sorceress, and you know what? She's looking pretty good. I like this design. It's not in detail enough to truly analyze. I mean, like, it's sort of I think she'll look a lot better, in game, and again, with the bigger shot. But so far, I like what I'm seeing. I genuinely do like what I see with her. She's on her saucer, so that's a nice sort of reference. This whole thing, this is just chock-a-block full of, not Easter eggs, because they are like hidden in plain sight sort of thing, but it is a really glorious piece, and I'd love to get like a massive poster of it. Now, panning over here in Spyro 2's world, so that's why you shouldn't take anything about this whole thing too seriously, is an egg. And let me tell you, I'm going to love the eggs and dragons in the Reignited Trilogy, mainly because, look, one, to me that looks pretty damn authentic, and two, the egg, just the detail of the egg, like it looks like the classic one, but upgraded, like that's the way I look at it. And again, this is artwork, so yeah, I'm going to keep saying grain of salt, but yeah, I love it. I'm a big fan. Now this guy here is actually one of those old fire enemies in Skelos Badlands, and he's just strange. This is really weird, but like, I feel like it's gonna be crazy when we actually see these guys moving and throwing stuff. And even in general, Skelos Badlands looks like it's going to be terrifying. Not really like in a horrific way, but more just dangerous. Like, I feel threatened by this. Look at the lava and everything like that. I think that in-game, it's gonna be a departure from the original, for sure. But I don't see that as a bad thing, to be perfectly honest. Now, here we have one of the dinos, T-Rexes, whatever you want to call them, looking a lot more rabid, like a lot more just scarier, I guess. It makes me really excited to see Spyro 2, and I guess this is the first Spyro 2 and Spyro 3 content. I'll be talking a little bit later towards the end of the video about the whole E3 thing and everything, but I regret I didn't do a video about it, because I was just disappointed. I'm just like, oh man, I wish I could be there so bad, but alas, I cannot be. Now here's the nice Spyro Reignited Trilogy logo in the middle there, but more importantly, notice the dragons, Chinese dragon sort of guys, Fireworks Factory. this is Fireworks Factory during the day. Now, I brought up on Twitter, could this be revealing a day to night cycle? And I didn't really believe it 100%, more just a cool idea to float out there. I believe it's more like so they can have the synchronicity, you know, of having a green, red, blue, and that's during the day. And so that's what it looks like during the day. And then obviously it gets nighttime and, you know, the lighting changes, but still a pretty damn cool thing. So yeah, huge fan of that. I'm a massive fan of the way they've done the Artisan Castle again. It feels like a storybook. It feels like something, again, like what I've been saying, how it reminds me of like my childhood, like the sort of fanfic stories I used to write. This is how I sort of imagine things looking in my head. You know, this Artisan's Castle is really nice. I think they've done a great job. I just love art pieces like this. Again, and I keep saying again, I'm going to say again, that I'm buzzing because Kenny Omega, oh man, New Japan Dominion. If you're a wrestling fan, check out New Japan Dominion. It's brilliant. But yeah, looking at this whole thing, I just think they've done a great job. It's another millionth reason, the 1,000,001th reason why they need an art book. And see here we've got the shepherd and the sheep and the dogs and some other stuff which you should pay attention to. There's just such a brilliant art style to this. Like I would pay big money to just see this kind of stuff all the time. Look at the doggy there. Look at that cute little thing that will get terrorizing and will crush you. So like it's literally terrifying. So please just be careful. A gem at the bottom there, which I'll look at a bit later. And then a brainiac looking sheep. And then in the background as well, because they just want to give so much detail, it ain't even funny. We've got a dragon statue right over there. Isn't that just glorious? I'm going to keep zooming in until it gets really low quality because that's what we're going to do. So this is a picture that came up on the Reddit as well. And it's basically, I guess, sort of a condensed version of what it would look like if they sort of cut things right, and it would actually look like, you know, on a PlayStation 4 cover, I guess. So there are a few things cut out, like the dragon egg and some of the other enemies and stuff like that. But I'm guessing that that's probably what it will be like. Maybe they can try and condense some things in a little bit more. That would be great. But honestly, as a cover like that, truly phenomenal, and I would say on par, if better than the Insane Trilogy cover. I am truly happy that this has actually came out now. This is actually one of those things that was leaked at that press, like what was it, like the game tour, whatever it was, back about almost like maybe 2 weeks ago. I feel like it was like 2 weeks ago, and it was initially shown up on a big poster. It was basically to promote like all the different toy lines that were going to be coming out. So we'd kind of seen this before in a low quality, but in this it is just truly fantastic, and it's the kind of stuff I want to keep seeing before release. I just love all the artwork stuff. They've exceeded Crash Insane Trilogy in that regard. Now, this has all been in one. I can't believe it. I have not had to edit anything out. We're gonna keep it going, but I'm gonna have to cut it now because I'm gonna put up some quick footage of what this E3 thing that's came up, and I'll talk about that, and then we'll wrap everything up. So, the E3 news, I guess, is that Spyro Reignited Trilogy will be able to be played at the booths. One of the the in-game area where you can play games at E3. I don't actually know where this is, but sure, it's like on the floor or whatever of E3. As you can tell, this is coming from a man that has not been to one, and probably won't be able to get to one unless I come into a large sum of money next year. So maybe next year we'll do something. But yeah, it's gonna be playable. Two levels that are going to be playable are Toasty and Tree Tops. This is a new picture of Tree Tops, by the way. Notice that it's actually a different tone of color here. It's more of a blue tone, less of that really apparent green. I don't know if they're either refining it further down or they're showing from a different angle, whatever, so it's different lighting or whatever. But yeah, I think it looks cool. I think honestly everything we've seen from Tree Tops, to be honest, I actually really quite like. Now, there's an article here that talks about the Activision. It's called Activision E3 Preview Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I'll link it in the description. And it says E3 is almost here, so find out what fans can experience with everyone's favorite dragon, straight from the mouth of the developers at Toys for Bob. Posted by our old mate Kevin Kelly, who's the guy that took the brunt of the criticism when we did that stream and he never said anything about Spyro and everyone freaked out. But it was great because I had Angus here and Unlisted Leave, and we all had a lot of fun. That was bloody hilarious. But yeah, they talk about the the fan response and stuff like that. They spoke to Paul Yarn. This is the studio heads, Paul Yarn or Yan and Avery Laudato, And yeah, one of the things that they said was, we knew that Spyro had a strong following, but the fan reactions went way beyond anything I was expecting. Seeing so many people get emotional about Spyro has really pushed all of us to do everything we can to make the game great. Paul adds, I'm absolutely floored by the community's passion for Spyro. We knew there was a fan base, but wow, the feels. It's very obvious that the original games made a profound impact on many people's lives. For me, the Reignited Trilogy is more than just a game, it's a magical time machine that would transport players back to their childhood and bring on a flood of emotions and memories. I'm very excited to be part of something that has the potential to produce that kind of joy and happiness. Yeah, sound like lovely guys, honestly. So yeah, that is, I'm going to end it here, wrap it up. That's basically E3, so read the rest of the article. Basically they talk about how beautiful the game is and how I want it to feel right, I want the controls to be right, and obviously everyone has their own opinions about that. I sincerely hope that it's all good. I think it should be fun. I know that some of the Spyro people that talk about Spyro, you know who you are. Some of those guys, I think Fringe is going, Jordan Fringe is going, and a couple others. I think maybe Canadian guy, I'm not too sure. There, I definitely know some of them are going, so I'll have to ask to borrow someone's footage or something like that when I get there. And maybe next year, if they do like crash-related stuff, I'll end up trying to make more money or do like a stream or something like that, like many streams to try and raise money to eventually go, because I'd love to be at E3. It's a genuine dream of mine. I mean, I've got to go to E3 because I'm pretty sure, again, Kenny Omega's going to be there with his IWGP heavyweight title. So that's going to be awesome fun. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I shall see you in the next one when we talk about, you know what, the next time we talk about Spyro, let's hope it's another trailer. Let's hope it's E3. Thank you guys. See you then.